Sturt champion Brenton Howard playing his 200th game today. Sun shining at the moment. No Neil Craig for Sturt. And it's Spill and Redden in the ruck against one another. A poor bounce. Michael Graham helps out. Sanders with the first kick of the match. To centre half forward. Hay, left foot around his body. Campbell and Zubranick out after it. Campbell gets there first. Hutt, leg, gets a free kick, plays on. Campbell tackles quickly. Derrington gives it to Zubranick. Sturt go into attack.
Derrington to half forward where Peter Motley takes a well-judged mark ahead of Craig Stanton. 60 metres. That's kicking into a slight breeze at the moment. Up in front of the goal, leading into the pocket, Rick Davies. Fresh from his 15 goals. We'll be looking forward to getting the team off to a good start this afternoon.
Robert Paul Arnold's playing at full back on Davies. Really looks like he's in the forward line.
Rick Davies, 50 metres. Times the ball well, kicking right into the breeze. Motley in front, spoiled away from him and through for a behind. First score of the game going to Sturt. They lead 1 point. North Adelaide yet to score.
With Paul Arnold to bring it back in for North. Played at centre half forward, full forward and full back this year. Looking towards Campbell and Riley. Barbary for Sturt. Left foot to centre half forward. Davies on a lead. Michael Graham takes the mark.
You know, it's very well let by then by Filkey. Graham called him out from behind, and one would suspect that if you were called out from behind, you normally wouldn't let it go, but those are people who know Michael Graham's voice, there'd be no mistaking it.
Centre half forward, drop punt. That's a goal. No, missed it. Looked home from here. Michael Graham can't believe it either. Behind the Graham.
Yes, he kicked it to the left-hand post. The wind's blowing from that side. It curved back very severely in flight. Looked as though it went through quite easily. Goal umpire not impressed.
Arnold goes short. Missed by Sanders. A bad miss. Graham in the pocket. Drop punt. Definitely missed that. That's a behind. So Michael Graham's kicked 2 points. Sturt at 3 points. North Adelaide yet to score.
And Paul Arnold playing at full back. Stephen Hay at centre half forward for North Adelaide. As Arnold kicks straight up the centre of the ground, perhaps favouring the grandstand side slightly. Off hands, no one over to take possession. Be a bounce down right on the edge of the square towards the centre half forward position for Sturt. Redden, number 42 for North Adelaide. The bounce again, not good. Derrington to Wilson. Sturt starting off with a little bit of smoothness that they showed last week. Heinrich propping on his opponent and then running away quickly. Takes the mark. Quickly to Davies to one out, but it's Motley into the pocket. He takes the mark. Sturt perhaps getting a little bit wide into that pocket. It won't be to their advantage.
Motley kicked 4 goals last week against West Adelaide, playing at centre half forward. Deep in the pocket. Drop punt. Very, very good kick. 4 through 4. A goal. One going well. Goal to Motley. What a magnificent kick. Sturt 1-3. North Adelaide yet to score.
Yes, one would suspect that that ball wouldn't have floated back on path either, Bruce, because kicking into the breeze, and with the breeze coming through the goals, one would have expected it to come out, but at the last second it faded back, and there's no doubt that it was over the line. I don't think the goal umpire having no hesitation, and the players themselves looking to me as though they were well over the line.
So Redden and Spiel again. Sturt off to a very bright start. Spiel on the tap. Again Sanders gets the ball out of the centre. Brealey in the front spot. Handballed on by Jarman to Hay. Hay with a strong kick around his body. In the front spot down. Dietrich. Handball back to Campbell. Wasn't a good one. And Trobus. Kick a goal from here. Drop punt is going to go through, I think. It is a goal to Antrovis. North Adelaide get one back quickly.
We saw Andrew Downs meet that ball very well then early in the flight, but of course when it came to ground he completely lost balance, and that looseness on his finishing off of the play, his looseness in balance, resulted in the big full forward getting his hands. That's Dietrich on the ball, giving the handball across, and Antrovis finishing it off.
So Redden and Spiel again in the ruck. 2 of the top men in their profession in South Australia in football. This time coming through Whittlesea. Graham with a chance. Zubranick with a run. Just props, but well tackled. Motley, Painter, left foot, Davies on a lead. Then taps it back to Filkey. Ellis over the top of Filkey. Too high, Filkey will get a free kick.
That kick of Painters is one of those doubtful kicks, getting it out into that pocket. Very, very wide. Probably the dead pocket on the ground. Painter kicking that wobbly old round the corner kick. So it's Craig Filkey, 50 metres out. Very powerful leg. Once again, I'd say the ball's over the line. It is. That's 2 goals for Sturt. That one just scraping in by a foot. And Craig Filkey coming onto the ground, or into the team, should I say, or onto the ground from the reserves bench, when it was found that Neil Craig's shoulder wasn't good enough, scores that goal from a free kick, and Sturt at 2 goals 3, leading North Adelaide 1 goal.
Super kick by Filkey. Spiel and Redden again in the ruck. Lots of goals being scored in the opening minutes. Neither ruckman really getting a run at it.
Yeah, the bouncing's been terrible, Bruce. That's about 4 bounces we've seen around the 3 in the centre and 1 around the ground, nowhere near the player.
Spiel and Redden. Redden the front spot, Spiel over the back. Roach look for a free kick. Riley's handball. Campbell. Derrington. Free kick to Derrington.
They're allowed to play on, Sturt. As Pate clears in towards the half-forward line, Motley's in the front position. It's play on. The umpire touches his hand, saying touch, play on. Davies in the front spot. Paul Arnold over the back. That won't please the big fellow. That's well done, Arnold. 15 metres against Davies, trying to stop the play on. Arnold to the outer side now. Gets a lead out there from Stanbridge. Stanbridge handballing him into the space when Michael Graham blocks him off. Free kick to Stanbridge in the back. Stanbridge from the half-back flank.
He's going to have his hands full today, Robert. Peter Motley started very well.
Made position to receive then, though, Stanbridge on the rebound kick from Arnold. And Stanbridge from half-back with a lovely kick to half-forward. Brenton Howard coming up from the back pocket, reading the ball very well, ahead of Greg McAdam. And he'll relieve for Sturt.
First kick in his 200th game, and it's a good one. Spiel in the front spot. Derrington on the run. Davies. .15 last week. This is his distance, Robert. 45 metres. He'll take his very best kick, but fortunately for Rick, it's early in the game. He seems to kick a little stronger in the first couple of quarters.
I'd say it's a simple distance, 45 metres for Rick Davies, Bruce.
440 goals in his career to date. Drop punt. Hooked it a bit. It's a behind. It's a point to Davies. Sturt 2-4, North Adelaide a goal.
And Frank Spiel put his hand up for that ball then. He just flicked it off in front of Peter Motley, and Jim Derrington rode very well, ran on down the ground quickly to receive. So Paul Arnold kicking out to the western side of the ground. Handballed on there by North Adelaide, and finally clearing up the wing is Sanders. Sanders to half forward, off hands from Reid. Riley coming up from the centre into the half forward line, kicks it into full forward. Dietrich from behind, and he gives a free kick away to Downs for pushing in the back. Andrew Downs likes playing the front spot. Downs a relief for Sturt.
Drop punt, timed it beautifully. Spiel, Redden from the back. Spiel taps it forward. Peter Reid had such a good game last week at Football Park. The ball in half forward, North attacking. Sturt has had 6 scoring shots. North Adelaide 1. And Redden and Spiel together.
Spiel in the front. Stalemate yet again. Sanders. It's his second left footer he's kicked. High in the air. Spoiled on by Brearley, but Howard holding ground on the defensive side. Clears towards the outer wing, and Grant Zubernick with Tim Pake backing him up. Lee Phillips 2-on-1 out there. Sturt running on as Zubernick goes through centre wing over half forward. Motley from the side, sneaking in front of the centre half back Stanbridge. Well judged mark, just kicking it high in the air, one out for Davies. Davies trying to body out Paul Arnold, unable to do so, and Arnold fists it out of bounds. So North Adelaide are safe for a moment, 2-4 to Sturt, North Adelaide 1 goal.
In the pocket where both Sturt's goals have come from with Filkey and Motley. Redden won the tap to McAdam. He was caught. Long handball to no one in particular. Graham. Tapped on by Ellis. Barbary. Filkey. Round his body with a strong kick. Derrington's underneath it. Stephen Riley. Paul Arnold. Just chips a drop punt. quick handball on by Jarman. Campbell with a drop punt to centre half forward.
And there, Russell Hutton thought he played very well last week when he came onto the ground. Clears towards Craig Barbary at centre wing. Barbary on his own, Sturt making position to receive very well. Comes across towards Spiel in the centre. Spiel can't take the mark. Taps it on. Heinrich, Zubranek gives it to Wilson. Wilson wasn't looking, now they're going to have a fight for it. Wilson recovering strongly. It's usually a good left foot kick. Gives it to Davies. Arnold, well done. Davies tackles. Arnold caught holding the ball, allowed to play on the Sturt, and Michael Graham in the goal square takes the mark. Good bit of umpiring there by Laurie Argent. That's twice he's allowed the game to play on instead of penalising the side. Michael Graham from 10 metres kicks it high and straight, and that's Michael Graham's first goal. 1 goal, 2 to Graham, 3 goals, 4 to Sturt, 1 goal to North Adelaide.
Wilson and Zubranek having a real battle for that ball. Finally, Zubranek leaving it for Wilson. Wilson's left foot kick gave Davies the chance. Arnold came over the back though. Davies collared him, holding the ball. Derrington snapped it up, and his left foot to the goal square found Michael Graham. So Davies in the play in the opening minutes, and so is Michael Graham. Robert Sturt would be pretty happy with their start.
Yes, Frank Spiel made a bad fumble here in the middle of the ground there. Then he tried to get rid of the ball, I think, Bruce, before he had his hands on it. So it'll be Spiel and Redden. Bounce favouring Redden. Just knocks it forward. Very well done to John Riley. Riley coming wide to the wing. Like Campbell running up the swing to receive the ball. Takes it. Well tackled by Pate. Ball falls from hands. Wilson out of bounds on the full nearly, but holding in. Probably a little inaccurate there by Ray Wilson. He could have kicked a little bit more accurately towards the goal.
Hugh Riley went in direct there, Robert. Had the chance to kick the ball long towards the goal square.
Campbell made position. He respected him. So it's out of bounds. Redden and Spiel. Spiel just backhanding it. High in the air by Malloy. Up towards the half-back. Pate. Can't take it. Pushed in the back and out of the road by Hay. Big strong man. Leaves it for Timmy Pate. A bit slow to recover. Jarman just diving on top of the ball. A bit unfortunate perhaps not to get a free kick from the back there.
It'll be Hay and Riley for North Adelaide with Spiel for Sturt. Peter Reid, Tony Roach, left foot. Dietrich on a lead. Will Fry get there? Or Fry and Downs collided. Now Dietrich. Whittlesey. Road run back. Roach. And Trovers has kicked one. Now here's a second. Drop punt through. 2 goals to Antrovers. North Adelaide are 2 goals and Sturt are 3-4.
Certainly head-on collisions there at full-back as Eddie Fry came running in, came off hands and went back towards centre-half forward. And Sturt fumbling around a little bit there, left the ball behind. Greg Whittlesey was caught. He did it well on the take, but the North Adelaide attack was too good, and the handball over the top to Antrovers gave him an easy opportunity again to run into the goal. All the Sturt players, Bruce, running up the ground to receive the ball then, rather than perhaps sitting tight when things weren't running for them.
Spiel and Redden against one another in the ruck. Sturt leading 21 points to 12. Better bounce. Spiel won it in the end. Graham got rid of it quickly to Derrington. Whittlesey. Derrington to Motley. Drop punt from Motley. A behind. So the centre half forward today has kicked 1 goal, 1. And it's 3-5 to 2 goals. Sturt just a little inaccurate, Robert. He missed a couple of easy ones and kicked a couple of hard ones.
Motley steadied himself well then. Nice kick in by Arnold. Player ducking his head there.
Phillips, Robert.
I thought I heard the whistle. Nothing's happened. Michael Graham. Filkey. Filkey to the pocket. Davies coming out. The front position, Barbary. Turns around. The ball lobs in his hands. Gift from the gods. Heinrich gets an unlucky bounce, hits him on the foot, but he's kept control. Barbary again, got the opportunity if he makes the yard to score full points. It's a beautiful kick. Bad luck for the Sturt Rover, only a point as he pummels it into the post. 3-6 to 2 goals now. Sturt leading by exactly 2 straight goals.
9 shots to 2. So big difference. North Adelaide hanging in with their accuracy.
Sturt kicking into the breeze.
So Sturt really having a very good start. Arnold's drop punt. Campbell and Whittlesey underneath it. Motley there as well. Motley's handball to Filkey. Left foot by Filkey. Arnold and Davies.
He's a strong man, Bruce. When he gets underneath you and he can put his body in the front there, he's very hard to beat.
Motley and Filkey are both playing very well across half forward for Sturt.
Sensational start by Peter Motley.
So Davies from 20 metres out. He's kicked to behind. The leading goal scorer in the league with 43 to date this season. Drop punt. It's a magnificent kick. Out of the ground and through for a goal.
Well, Peter Motley at that centre-half forward position, Bruce, he's made a world of difference in Sturt in the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks in fact. This game plus 2 before has played centre-half forward, having been shifted there from the half-back flank. His performance in that position has been very, very good. His ability to compete for the ball, I think, is the important thing. And there we saw him just dish out a short little handball. And the handball, of course, resulting in the kick just running forward quite simply to Rick Davies. And Davies just bodying himself in underneath the front spot to beat Paul Arnold.
Michael Armfield's been shifted on to Motley with Stanbridge going to a half-back flank.
So it's Frank Spill and Mick Redden still in the ruck together. They've been going now for about 17 minutes in the first quarter. The bounce again very poor. Ray Wilson can't take possession. Stephen Hay gets it out and it's handballed forward to McAdam. McAdam kicking to the pocket to Antrobus. He takes the mark ahead of Brendan Howard. He goes fairly direct but slowly. Wilson puts his body in underneath. Riley can't take the mark. Howard backing up. He's got possession now. There's no one in the back play for Sturt. He's going to have to clear some distance. He has, but Mick Redden's there. Filkey making ground very well. Goes over half forward. Straight to Davies. In the front position. Spoiled away by Arnold. Well done. Heinrich off hands. Evades. Kicks to the square. Davies has got it.
Gee, Robert, he went to play on and then kicked, but he realised he was over the line. It's a very interesting one, that one.
Well, he can't call play on over the line. He's marked the ball.
I think
there's no play.
No, Rick just stopped in his tracks. He realised he was over the line when he was about to kick the ball.
Yes, it was very good reflex on his part.
So here is a certain goal for Davies. It's his 5th kick. And straight through again. 2-1 to Davies, 5-6 to 2 goals.
Philip Heinrich did that fairly well on the half-forward line then, coming back, but of course it started back in defence, and Brendan Howard with a magnificent clearing kick. He had 3 North Adelaide players in the back play. He cleared those 3, then it came off hands deep, and then running through the that line where Craig Filkey came up from half-forward to meet the ball, and his kick, a magnificent one from centre wing, right in towards Davies, and they scored.
So Spill and Redden once again. Neither player getting an ascendancy in the centre. Left foot by Roach. Tries underneath it. It was called play on. Touched off the boot. He's caught. Hay, who's playing at centre half forward. He's a strong kick. That's a very good kick around his body. Dietrich and Downs. Chance for Brealey. Howard's with him. Now Fry. Not really a good kick. He should have come to Wilson rather than Pate. Again, Antrobus, who's kicked 2 goals. Didn't quite sit up for him. Roach, Hutton behind him. Roach gets rid of it. Riley's after it. Derrington's after Riley. Riley has to go backwards, and he goes to Phillips.
Brenton Phillips from half forward. Stephen Riley just playing safe there. Would have been very bad if he'd have missed the body, but he was equal to the occasion. Phillips with a flat punt. Howard in front. Dietrich from behind. Downs fisting away. Off hands there, taken on the half-forward line by Sanders and smothered and out of bounds. So it's 5-6 to Sturt and 2 goals to North Adelaide.
Bennett warming up, Peter Bennett for North Adelaide. He played in the Escort Cup game on Wednesday night. It was his first league day game. McAdam from the pocket. Fell over almost. Phillips, North very indirect at the moment. Roach. Now Dietrich and Downs. Wilson.
Beautiful bit of wing play there by Wilson when he got back into the defence. He handballs it forward to Downs. Downs across to Graham. That's not a good handball. Sturt have got too many players though. Pate's looking for a handball. He's got to kick his left foot. Not a bad kick either. The centre wing. Spiel in front. It's too tall for Redden from the front spot. Roach can't finish it. Redden recovers. Back to Roach. Roach is a bit slow getting rid of it. He comes out to the wing. Matthew Campbell trying to pick it up. He's having a bit of trouble. Peter Motley, don't know what he tried to do then. Armfield, Riley. Another fumble tackle there by Ellis due to a bad handball which went behind him. Ellis to half forward. Reid in the front spot. Should have taken the mark, didn't, then tackles and is holding the man. That'll be a free kick to North Adelaide. The umpire signalling over the shoulder, but I think it was holding the man anyway. And Andrew Jarman will take the free kick right on the half-forward line for North Adelaide.
John Brealey off for North, with Bennett on. Jarman, who's in the Teal Cup team to go to Darwin shortly. Screw punt. Howard was underneath it. He carried it through from behind. So North Adelaide's first point. They're 2-1, Sturt 5-6.
Sturt have got off to a very good start. Michael Graham making position for Andrew Downs to receive, and Downs ignores it and then goes straight down the centre of the field. Riley backing up well. Whittlesea's been left behind. Riley's recovery is magnificent as he gives the ball across to Campbell. Campbell into half forward. Michael Graham still in the back pocket where he made that lead. Just goes short. That slips. Goes out of bounds on the full. Trying to find Jim Derrington. Not much room for error. Of course, the error occurred.
And Travis. Jarman at centre half forward.
You see Michael Graham playing cat and mouse then, Bruce. He encouraged the lad to do that kick.
Lay around his body to Brenton Howard. Howard in the back pocket. Kicking's been magnificent today. Centre wing. Spill. Redden at the back. So Spill, centre wing. He's got Wilson making a lead for him.
Good kick too, Bruce. He's given him the space. Wilson to centre half forward to Barbary. Took a bit of a chance. Very nice mark. Certainly hoping to see something from Craig Barbary. His kick is equally as good to Davies. Spot on kick. Barbary's done two very good plays this quarter. There was a chance there by Ray Wilson, but of course Wilson's kick's very easy to mark. He's a magnificent disposer of the ball. And the kick by Barbary just clearing the hands of the North Adelaide player, giving Rick Davies a run at it into the air. Davies never let him down.
2-1 to the big fellow. Kicked 15, of course, last week. He kicked 5 in the first quarter last week. Now he's got 2 so far.
Dropped it like a bag of spuds, Bruce.
He did.
Turned it in his hand as it was going to his boot.
He knows. He's having a good look at it. 2-2 to Davies. Could have had 4 so far, Robert.
Yes, he dragged that down then. I think you can do that easily, just catch in your hand and turn the ball over and miss the drop punt. Paul Arnold. Grandstand wing. Spill from the back. I'd say he's marked it too. He had it clean as a whistle. Gives the ball off to Barbary. Barbary's going to go long to Davies. He gave him the call to the pocket. He's kicked it. He's up from behind, can't take it. Heinrich has caused a bit of trouble up there last week in that forward pocket. Right across the face of goals and out of bounds on the full.
Robert, Craig Barbary's made an interesting start today. We've seen him earlier in the season, a little critical of him, but his football's been very good here at Unley.
He certainly has. He hasn't played very well most of the season, but I'd say his start today has been full of value.
Ellis with a long drop punt underneath at Redden. John Riley's had quite a few touches in the centre. Whittlesea just coming to terms with the centre position at the moment, playing his second game there. Zubernick. Fry with a long handball to Painter.
This is what Painter does, Bruce. He doesn't check. He likes to stand back and receive. Does it pretty well too.
Derrington from the pocket. It's a very good kick. Arnold getting back underneath it. It's a behind. Derrington, his first score. Sturt a 5-8. North Adelaide a 2-1. We're getting close to the time on period. 13 shots to 3 in what's been really a one-sided first turn.
Yes, if North Adelaide make mistakes on rebound, not Craig Barbary, but John Payne's a bit slow on recovery. Ball to the outer side. Taken away by Ellis.
And Trobus.
How could I mistake it? Reid. Pate. He has an airy handball. Hay. Can't get it under control. Quickly recovers on top of Hutton. Roach. Finally North Adelaide now with a chance. Kicking the ball for goal with Bennett. And he makes absolutely no mistake. Well done, Peter Bennett. First kick for the day. Straight through the big ones. 3-1 to North. 5-8 to Sturt.
Peter Bennett. Tall lad. Slim. Been congratulated by Tony Roach. First kick in league football in the daytime. Coming on as an interchange for John Brealey. He was going to give the handball off. Decided not. Left foot went straight through.
So Frank Spill still in the ruck with Mick Redden. They're going to battle it out by the look of things for most of the day. Redden this time tapping it forward to Riley. Well done. Campbell coming up along the wing. Can't get it to sit for him. Finally he does, leaving Ray Wilson behind. Beautiful kick to the goal square. Dietrich in the back spot. Downs in front. Downs has marked the ball. Good to see a fullback wanting to play in front like Andrew Downs does. It's just a matter of him keeping his balance after he flies, because he tends to lose control. He gets so high off the ground. Ball spoiled away by Redden.
Campbell with a run of it. Had quite a few touches like Riley across that centre. A high one. McAdam and Howard. McAdam from the back. Howard tackled him well. Jarman to Roach. Drop punt. In fact, it was a check side in the end. He's kicked a point. Roach also has had some kicks. 3-2-5-8. Robert, one of the big differences at the moment is that Davies is able to mark on the goal square and Dietrich hasn't been able to do so, with Downs playing very well.
He has had a lot of opportunities. Downs flying well. It's a nice kick in too by Andrew Downs. It's into the square. Redden fisting strong away. Stanbridge with an opportunity to pick it up. Well done. Bit slow getting rid of it. Wilson's got it. He's got to turn the speed. And he and Campbell have both started off well on the wing. Clears the pocket. Davies is out there. Derrington receives from Davies. Then comes back. He's going to kick it to the big fellow. Changed his mind. Goes in towards full forward. Spoiled away there in the back pocket for North Adelaide by Riley. Handball towards Ellis. Or Malloy rather. Davies has got hold of it though. Filkey. Derrington. Heinrich. Oh, he sold the dummy there. Well, then a check side has just missed. Bill Heinrich's in very good touch, Robin. Yes, he's got very good evasive abilities. Last week he was giving the handball off. Often he tends to hang on to it a little bit and do those sort of dummies. He uses the handball as a feint rather than to give it off quickly, sometimes to the detriment of the team. So it's Grant Zubranick receiving that miss kick in. His handball to Michael Graham's not accurate. Graham just flips it up to Davies, and Davies should be able to kick this. Doesn't even go close. Motley's out there. I don't know how he got out there, but he is. He's recovered and falls off his hands. Armfield and Motley. North Adelaide player thrown out of the road when he didn't have possession of the ball. Antrobus. And he'll take the free kick in the back pocket for North Adelaide. He's kicked 2 goals in this first quarter, the Rover. Very promising player. Clearing kick. Spule in the middle. Red in the front. Riley the back. Campbell breaks Barbry's tackle. Then goes wide and gives Brenton Phillips a run of it. Big strong lad, isn't he? The wingman Campbell. Roach in the centre. Drop punt to centre half forward. Hayes on a lead. Oh, that's a big mark. In fact, maybe McAdam thought he might have got the free kick, but Hay over the back. It was Hay that pushed him in the back. Robert, he's a big kick too, Hay. It's a big lad. He and Campbell. Campbell's a big man for a wingman also. Drop punt. Dietrich. Downs. Jarman. Snap over his shoulder. A behind. So Jarman has 2 points. It's 3-3 to 5-9. The difference 3 goals. North Adelaide settling fairly well. They're not panicking. They've shown no panic at any stage, even though they got behind. They've sort of ground their way back into the game. Downs right into the centre of the ground. It's a beautiful kick. Free kick against Riley was hanging on to Whittlesey, but Frank Spill thinks he wants a free kick further back. No, it was for Whittlesey. Whittlesey over half forward. Davies on a lead. He's up there and he's marked it. Makes one wonder just how bad his knee is, Bruce. Last week he moved a lot better than he has before. And this will be something like 7 kicks, I'd say, for this quarter playing at full forward, and that's a lot of touches. Jeff Motley, the chairman of the state selectors, is here today. Told me before the game that obviously Davies is somebody they've got to have a look at. If he kicks 15 again today, it's going to be hard for him not to go to Western Australia. He'd be pretty handy in the goal square, put a bit of pace around him. Players like Lindner and McAdam, they're good players. Rick's dropped it like a bag of spuds again. Gone for a bit of extra distance. Just trying to force a little. Another behind to Rick Davies. 2 goals, 3 he's kicked now. Of Sturt's 5 goals, 10. North Adelaide 3-3. So Arnold, who has been given the job of looking after Davies, comes to the half back flank. Stephen Riley takes the mark in front of Philip Heinrich. Short. Bennett. Playing in his first day game, as we said. He played against Torrens on Wednesday night. Drop punt. Getting underneath at Antrobus.
Little shove from Barbary, and Antrobus gets the free kick. Centre wing. Gee, Robert, the sun's shining brightly. You wouldn't believe it was the same day as when we first arrived here at Unley today.
There's a bit of careless play there by Craig Barbary, unnecessary. Antrobus over half forward. Downs is down. I think his foot slipped from under him on the slip. Howard's caught holding the ball. Tried to break clear. Very good tackle by Dietrich. Dietrich gets the free kick, about 30 metres from goal. It's a very important kick too for North Adelaide. It keeps them right within scoring distance. You see Colin Casey's bald head down there in front of the grandstand too.
Siren will go, Robert, at any moment.
It's just gone, Bruce.
How's that?
Very good judgment.
So it is a big kick for Dietrich. 3-3-5-10. Drop punt. No score. So quarter time, Sturt lead 40 points, North Adelaide 21.
No one can just at this moment. Filkey just tapping it out then. Whittlesee's toes. Motley trying to control it. He can't. So there'll be a bounce down. True centre half forward position. About 45 metres from goal. Halfway between the goal and the centre.
Redden and Spiel. Again a poor bounce. Spiel gets his hand on it. Whittlesea. Armfield.
See that handball? Whittlesea went to hit it, started on the ground, and Armfield put his hands on it, and Whittlesea handballed it out of Armfield's hands.
So it'll be Spiel again against Redden. Spiel over the back. Redden. Sanders, again a left footer. That's his third. Hay and Reid. Reid ran Hay off the ball beautifully there and left it for Tim Pake. So Pake from the centre square with a long drop punt.
Motley got the run at it. Spiel from in front. Motley will take the free kick for over the shoulder. No, he won't. Spiel will take the free kick for over the shoulder. So Frank Spiel from centre half forward, moving into the forward area with McRedden. Redden playing loose, or not so much loose in defence, but getting back into defence quickly. At this point of time, we see Redden in the goal square as Spiel lets it go to that area. 2-on-1 Davies. Davies is up. He can't Arnold from the front. And whilst they're 2-on-1, Michael Graham says thank you very much as he reads the offhand and kicks the goal for Sturt. 6-10 now. North 3-3.
Redden getting back, as Robert said. His opponent Spiel kicking the ball to the goal square. Davies having both Arnold and Redden jumping against him. One extra Sturt player on the ground. Michael Graham, his left foot snap went through. So he's kicked 2-2 today. He went off last week. He looked badly injured. In fact, we'd had a report during the game that he was very badly injured, but he wasn't. He's recovered. He's back playing for the Double Blues. Veteran of over 250 games, and he's kicked 419 goals for the club.
Well, Spiel and the big fellow Redden have not yet been off the ball. They'll be opposed again. It's a much better bounce. Redden this time. Just knocks it forward, but Painter's there. Kicks it to half forward. Armfield takes it after just missing the initial thrust at it. Reid found the space over half forward. Zubrick showing a bit of dash, but Phillips is with him. Phillips on top. Taps it out. Well done. Derrington. Whittlesea with the opportunity now. Gives it to Heinrich. Heinrich's only got to kick it straight, and he can't. Through for a behind to Philip Heinrich. His second behind. Sturt's 11th. They're 6-11, leading North Adelaide 3-3.
17 shots for goal Sturt has had, and we've been playing just over 30 minutes of football.
They're certainly making it look pretty easy too.
Arnold's drop punt. Riley on a lead. Whittlesea at the back. He's used to spoiling away, being the state back pocket. Ellis. Well, no, that's Campbell. Sanders. This time on his right foot. Fry underneath it. Too far for him. Still Fry with it. Now to Hutton. Howard. Smothered by Antrobus. It'll be a ball in. North Adelaide in attack. Trailing 21-47.
It's out of bounds on the half-forward flank. Looks like Peter Reid's going to contest this with Bennett. Bennett just laying it forward. Phillips paints a handball, ducks his head. Umpire calls play on. Looking for a free kick. Pake. No one taking possession at the moment. Finally given out by Bennett. North Adelaide can't take it. This time Phillips has a better go. High into the air. Down's a little bit of a push in the back, I would have thought, there on Dietrich. And it's out of bounds on the foot.
So Downs from the back pocket. Mick Noonan having a look on. Drop punt. Almost up to the centre wing. Redden and Spiel. Taken off hands by Campbell. Left-footed to centre half forward. Roach underneath it. Fry from the back. Reid and Hay. And it's going to be a ball up. Peter Reid had an exceptional game last week in defence on Bruce Lindner.
Very dour defender, Bruce, that's for sure. Centre half back, Spiel and Redden. Spiel laying it to Derrington, well done. Eddie Fry to the space on the centre wing. Grant Zubnik with an opportunity running with the ball. Michael Graham coming the other direction. Zubnik in short towards Motley. Motley can't take the half volley on the tape. Recovers to full forward. Davies in front. Knocked out of bounds through the behind, should I say, by Malloy. 6-12 to Sturt. North Adelaide 3 goals 3.
Motley's made a big start to this game. Arnold rather with a floater. Wilson against Campbell. McAdam, that's a good tackle by Wilson. Play on. No, it's got to go back. Thought he was going to play the advantage to Heinrich, but no.
Derrington was running too, wrong side, Bruce. Ray Wilson into half forward. It's a beautiful kick. Barbara's got it. Gee, Wilson is a magnificent kick, Bruce. The ball carries so fast. If you're not spot on with the timing of your spoil, it's into the other player's hands. It's got to be the exact timing on the spoil. You can't be a fraction off in any way, shape or form.
Barbary from about 35 metres. Kicked a point today so far. He hit the post. That one is a very good Rovers kick. So Barbary has kicked 1-1. He's averaging almost 2 goals a game for Sturt, Robert, and the Double Blues are 7-12 to 3-3.
Yes, he's certainly done well up in the forward line at times, but he showed a bit more around the centre in the first quarter and up on that half-forward area. But that's a good mark by Craig Barbary. He's certainly built to be a good player, and he's not a bad kick. His skills are okay, but I think the way Sturt are playing at the moment, they're going to fit all sorts of players into their side. They're playing with a great deal of smoothness. They're very confident. Of course, you're seeing the best possible team that Sturt can put on the field, I think, today, bar Neil Craig.
So Redden and Spiel together. Craig dropping out before the match. Riley around his body. Hake underneath it. And Travers pushed him in the back. Hake's improved with each week, Robert. He was injured, of course.
Broke his hand, Bruce.
And he is starting to regain confidence. He's an exciting player. Motley and Armfield with Filkey. Motley's handball smothered. Armfield, Filkey, Campbell, Sanders with a long handball. Armfield made some space and then punched the drop punt towards centre half forward.
Eddie Fry off hands from him. Working hard on that half forward line there for North Adelaide was Tony Roach. He finally knocks it out of bounds. Spiel coming up. Go for the ruck throw, and he does against Stephen Hay. Spiel just laying it back hard to Sanders only. And Trovis with an opportunity, slips over. The handball to Jarman was most inaccurate. McAdam running backwards, ducking and weaving. He's got a bit of a tendency to do that, Greg McAdam. I don't think he's a very direct player. He likes to do a bit of weaving and dodging. And I think if the first assault on the tackle is straight at his waist, there's a good chance you'll be able to complete it on him. Michael Graham being held on to, either that or he's holding on to Andrew Jarman. Jarman took his eye off him for a fraction of a second. Graham fumbled it from Barbary. Spill's just having a rest at the moment. He knocks it on to Wilson. Wilson gets it across to Painter. Painter to Graham. Gee, that was a great recovery. He can't get the kick away. Filkey can't either. Redden's got it. Filkey to Graham. Graham kicks the ball. I think he's absolutely exhausted. He really busted his boiler then. And Michael Graham kicks his third behind. He's kicked 2 goals, 3. Sturt a 7-13. North Adelaide 3-3.
Gee, worked hard, Robert. Oh, a lot of errors there, but they finally had a shot for goal.
That's perseverance.
Paul Arnold has had some work to do today on Davies and kicking in to half back. Craig Stanbridge from the back. Pake's handball to Painter. Painter's made a slow start. Left foot kick to the pocket. Stephen Riley takes the mark and will be awarded it. So Stephen Riley, who's playing back there in the pocket, alongside Arnold and also Malloy.
No power in John Painter when he takes off with that kick, is there? It's just all slow motion. Gets another chance here to recover the ball. Well done then. Barbary. Oh, nice take, Wilson. That's a magnificent take. The kick's not straight. Through from behind. So Ray Wilson kicks his first scorer behind. Sturt a 7-14, North a 3-3.
Yes, Arnold again from full-back.
Michael Graham's still very seedy from that run, Bruce. He hasn't moved too far.
Kick to half-back, Stanbridge on his chest. Started at centre half back. Motley took about 4 marks against him and he was shifted. Campbell on the run. Fry underneath it. Hay. Free kick to Fry. You mentioned that Motley is very comfortable at centre half forward. Fry seems to be very comfortable on a half back flank.
Yes, the balance of the Sturt side certainly improved. Back in the centre of the ground, the height of Matthew Campbell. Good mark to him. He goes very high towards Dietrich. Downs in the front again. He loves to fly high. Reed. This time Phillips. Just playing on the check side. Zubinic just grabbing hold of Antrobus. Tony Antrobus takes the free kick between centre wing and half forward. Rowan Zubinic just grabbing bodies. Antrobus short. Downs in front again. Making front position. He's got Grenville Dietrich a little bit upset at the moment. He just can't get his position, which he'd like to. Downs to centre wing. Spiel coming in from the side. Zubinic. Wilson making position on the run on. They're 2-on-1 up here, Sturt. That's where Campbell's getting caught. Okay, that's a good handball. If Sturt can knock it on. Filkey has done that. Motley. The handball's Riley. Well done, Riley. Armfield.
Phillips plays it on to Antrobus. Better movement by North Adelaide. Then Antrobus punches the ball towards Dietrich. It's a good kick. Dietrich couldn't take the mark. Howard. Hutton. Fry. This Sturt defence is looking good. Fry with a drop punt is a beautiful kick. Gives Motley the chance.
Two players then. Fry standing in the middle of the ground. He could have kicked that too.
Whittlesey interfered with Motley. The handball from Malloy got to Campbell, and Campbell to Sanders.
Sanders just going short across to Antrobus. He got centre half forward. Barbary had made a beautiful lead for Fry at the middle of the ground a moment ago, and he didn't look over his left-hand shoulder. Just went straight back into the defensive action that North had set up from the previous play. And Tony Antrobus from centre half forward, about 60 metres from goal. It's a very good kick into the square, and this time Bennett, it looks like. Front position. He thought, I'll show Downs a thing or two. Downs has done it every time. He said, I'll just take a leaf out of his book and see if it works for me. And it certainly did just that. Bennett from 10 metres. Very good kick. That's his second goal. North Adelaide are now 4-3, trailing Sturt 7 goals, 14.
Antrobus has had 10 kicks for North Adelaide, the Rover. It was a very good kick. And Bennett coming in to help out. Dietrich has been beaten at full forward at the moment. Just been frustrated by Downs. Bennett took the mark in the front and kicked straight from about 15 metres out. So this has been a very promising start for Peter Bennett. He's had 3 kicks and kicked 2 goals. Started on the interchange. John Brealey had about 10 or 15 minutes and then was taken off.
Well, Jim Derrington's come back onto the ball. Craig Barbary going off it. Tony Antrobus really getting into the business then when he was on the ball. Spiel and Redden. Whittlesey has it ripped from him. Spill's hanging on to somebody for about 20 minutes too long. He didn't have the ball. Umpire didn't notice. Stanbridge falls over. Whittlesey can't affect the tackle. Well done in towards the centre. Still a bit inaccurate at the moment. Michael Graham giving the ball long. Once again we see Painter not recovering, but he's always there to receive an error. It's a beautiful handball to Derrington. Derrington straight into the open goal. Made a bit of a difference this time as Sturt go into attack and Derrington scores for them. 8-14 to 4-3.
1 goal, 1 to Derrington. Both Riley and Whittlesey being hung onto in the centre of the ground. Ball finally coming out to the half forward flank, and Painter in slow motion with a handball, but he found Derrington. Derrington's a very good kick, and the Rover made no mistake.
So Frank Spill and Mick Redden. Straight bounce. Redden just knocking it forward to Riley. Riley sending it forward to Wilson. Wilson kicking it wide to the wing where Zubinic should take it on his body. It's wobbling in the air a bit. He does just that. A bit slow going back from behind the mark. Beautiful kick though. Motley can't take it. Kick not quite carrying. Motley falling to ground, allowing Armfield to clear for North Adelaide towards Eddie Fry. Eddie Fry can't take the mark. Jumped off the ground a bit then, Bruce. If he'd have kept his feet and just kept running back with the ball, I think it would have just settled into his body for him. It's out of bounds on the half-forward line for North Adelaide.
It'll be Spiel and Hay. Redden back at half-back for North Adelaide at the moment. Riley comes over the top. Whittlesey's onto him quickly, and so's Reed. Left foot by Reed. Into the centre. Stephen Riley and Michael Graham. Ellis. Stephen Riley again.
Two good tackles there by Filkey. He did both of those. A little bit lucky perhaps to get the free kick for holding the ball because both arms were hurled as the ball fell from the North Adelaide player's hands. Spoiled away from behind by Stanbridge getting back there. Painter coming through, just taps it on. Barbary picks it up, gives the handball to Zubernick. Zubernick can just go short into the pocket where Philip Heinrich has the ball, and Jimmy Derrington the other side of the goals. No, not on, he says. Quite rightly so, I feel. Paul Arnold would have intercepted that with no troubles whatsoever. A long kick across the goal face. So Philip Heinrich, 20 metres, very acute angle. It's a magnificent kick though. Don't see any better than that. Philip Heinrich scores Sturt's 9th goal. They're 9 goals, 14, leading North Adelaide 4-3.
Sturt coming through the swing closest to the grandstand there. Zubernick's football has been pretty good today. Heinrich making some space in the pocket. Then he had the chance to get it to Derrington, but as Robert said, Arnold was probably in a position to intercept, went back, took his time and kicked a goal.
Spiel and Redden. Umpire's bouncing better. Redden finds Derrington. Spiel gives it forward. Whittlesey hits him on the back of the head. Cleared away there by North Adelaide player Riley. Kick forward to Hay at half forward. He takes the mark ahead of Peter Reid.
23 shots to 7. Been playing just over 15 minutes of this term as Hay goes towards the goal square. Well, Dietrich takes off very early. No free kick to Downs. Thought there might have been because he
couldn't have touched his body, Bruce. He must have just flown past the back of him.
Yeah, he hung on to something for a while, didn't he?
I think it was a bit of a cloud.
Yeah, must have been a low one. Downs again with Dietrich. Dietrich's not happy at the moment. Fry to Painter to Derrington. Derrington runs his full 15 metres, then punches a drop punt. Motley couldn't quite take it on the half volley. Phillips, John Riley. It's working hard, John Riley. Tony Roach takes the mark.
Good value player, Riley. No flurry in his play. Just all happens efficiently. Every touch he has, he finds a body.
Roach looks back at the coach's box. Obviously a message being shouted at him. I think probably have a shot for goal.
I don't miss, I'd say. He hasn't.
So Roach has got his first. North Adelaide converting. They're 5-3, Sturt 9-14.
Yes, Bruce, if a player's good enough in the centre of the ground as John Riley is, and he's an efficient player, any movement forward that he can get and the disposal of the ball, if he can kick it accurately, then the next player must surely have a shot for goal. If a team can get a player on top in the centre of Riley's ability, obviously they're going to benefit tremendously.
Redden and Spiel, they've been rucking throughout this first half. It's 5-3 to 9-14, Sturt with a big advantage. McAdams had a very ordinary day today. Riley, again with a high drop punt. Jarman and Pake. Pake under control at the moment, and again a ball in. So 23 shots to 8, 68 to 33 the score. Sturt doing it very well at Unley.
I can feel a very cold breeze running past my legs. I think there's another icicle shower coming off the South Pole. I think this lead of Sturt's will be pretty handy if it does rain. Reid skids off the ground. Ellis, not very far though. Campbell can't take it. Filkey recovers it. Painter, he runs into trouble but gets the ball away then with a bit of reflex. Whittlesey into full forward with his left foot, and that's why he's a good sentiment. Two-footed players. Davies being given the ball just on the other side of Arnold. Too far for Arnold to reach, and of course it was so very low. The only hope Arnold had was to interfere with Davies. The kick was too good. Davies kicking into the breeze. Very high and offline. Seems to be kicking the ball very high in the air. 2-goal-4 now to Rick Davies. 9 goals, 15 to 5-3.
36 points the difference. 6 goals. Davies has won the ball exceptionally well again today. He's had the chance to kick 6 goals and he's just got the 2 full. Galing's on the ground for North Adelaide, so they've made a change. Might be Stephen Riley or Malloy off, I'm not too sure. Free kick going against Sturt. It's Frank Spiel to Mick Redden, half-back flank.
Michael Armfield's done a good job on Motley too. He's stopped him completely, but it hasn't stopped Sturt from still running forward.
Campbell centre wing. A lot of kicks, Matthew Campbell. That's his 9th as he kicks the ball to half forward. Brenton Phillips and Grant Zubernick and Pake And a ball in.
I think Ray Wilson would have had a few too. You ask our statistician just what's happening over there. He's had 8. They've been very even. They've had a lot of touches, those two players on the wings.
So Reed against Hay with McAdam coming in late. Handball on by Jarman. Now Roach has got the chance from the pocket. Drop punt. Looks a good kick. Hit the post. Bad luck. 1-2 to Roach. 5-4 to 9-15.
Andrew Downs will bring the ball in for Sturt to the grandstand wing. Spill from behind. Zubrnik from the front. Spoiled away by Phillips. Bad bounce. Hutton. He kicks it to the centre towards Graham. It's too far for him. Coming through is Stephen Riley. Kicks it about 2 inches to McAdam. McAdam wide to Antrobus. And Antrobus takes the mark between half forward and full forward. In short of the pocket. Roach coming across. Certainly loves to play up in that forward line. Tony Roach moves fast. He comes back to Antrobus, and that's right within his distance. That's a good bit of play by North Adelaide. Moving the ball around quickly. And finally, Tony Antrobus taking the mark 40 metres from goal.
This is his 12th kick, Robert. Roach has had 10.
It's a good kick too, Bruce. Not quite the distance. Just dropping it onto his body. Russell Hutton holding in line with the ball. Very good judgment. Barbary gives him the lead. Decides to go over his head to Spiel and Redden. And Redden in the front spot. Bit stiff not to take it. Hay to Riley. Riley goes for goal. Didn't straighten his body. Ran off line. Kicked it behind. 5-5 North Adelaide. 9-15 to Sturt.
Riley's had 8 kicks. North Adelaide getting a lot of possessions just at the moment. They're trailing by 4-10. Downs again. Looks for Spiel. Redden at the back. Brenton Phillips holding the ball.
Yes, he could have given it off. He dummied the handball and then fainted on the ground. No, fainted around the player and was caught on the recovery. Riley, handball not good this time. Wilson, Zubrnik, Graham making position. Goes across to the centre. Filkey's held front spot. Done it well too. If he's not held onto, he was holding the ball. And finally, Stephen Riley receives from McAdam to the outer side. Jarman in front. Pate coming in quickly. Jarman's tackled. And is holding the man on this occasion. Player over the top of the ball.
Starting to rain, as Robert suggested it would. Jarman tries to take Pake on. Then to Campbell. Sanders, well backed up by Stephen Riley. He's playing a useful game. Drop punt. This will be hard to mark. Not for Downs. To Hutton. Sets Fry up a bit. She didn't have long to get rid of it, but it did set him up.
Yeah, should have kicked the ball. Eddie Fry called him, believing he was on his own. The handball getting there a little bit slowly. That's why both the kick and handball in modern footy's got to get there pretty quickly, because players can make up 5 metres very easily if the ball's slow. And Tony Roach, that wind certainly springing up a bit. Ball holding up. There'll be a free kick this time to Dietrich. Downs has handled him well, but between them this time, Howard and Downs give a free kick away to the big fellow, and he gets his opportunity to score. He hasn't had a lot of kicks up there today.
He had a shot for goal on the siren at quarter time and missed.
Missed that too.
So behind a Dietrich. Not a good start. He'd be disappointed with himself. Mick Noonan would be a bit disappointed too. 5-6, 9-15. They're the goals North Adelaide must get, Robert, to stay in touch.
They certainly must. They haven't had many shots for goal. They're trailing in that department, and they can take advantage of Sturt's inaccuracy if they can convert from up in front of goal. Mick Redden marking the kick out. Goes into the pocket. Dietrich just falling over. So does Downs. And Hutton takes the mark. Russell Hutton. The centre wing. Spiel in front. Spoiled forward by Redden, Riley, Phillips. A bit of breakaway pace towards the centre of the ground. He certainly kicked it into the spot. Downs from the back. Flies high. That's a spectacular mark. Well done, Downs. Hutton again running away from full back. Out to the outer side. Ball running towards the boundary line and out of bounds. 9-15 Sturt, North Adelaide 5-6.
So Redden and Spiel together again. They've rucked for the whole of the first half. Honours fairly even. Spiel won the tap. McAdam. Barbary tries to run him down. And Trovis breaks the tackle of Howard, but had to fall over to do it. Roach on the ground. Hake. Jarman, McAdam, drop punt, are behind. So North Adelaide peppering away at the moment, 5-7 to 9-15. Missed, I think they've kicked 4 points straight, Robert. They were 5-3. So 2 goals would have been handy. They just must get another couple before half-time to be in some sort of touch. Well, Stanbridge was the man that went off when Gayling came on, so he's about to come back on.
Up the centre of the ground, Reid from the back. It's a very good mark by the centre half back. Jumping over the top of both Spiel and Redden. To half forward, Motley in front. Armfield from behind with a good spoil. Derrington takes the ball, goes right, left, and back to the right. Over the top to Whittlesea. Riley just jumps up in there. That's magnificent. That's beautiful feel for the ball. Bit of Philip Gallagher stuff. And Armfield just handballing it out of bounds. Very dark here at Unley at the moment. 9-15 Sturt, 5-7 to North.
Bennett for North Adelaide, Davies for Sturt. Davies coming out to take the ruck work. Riley over the back. Graham's left foot snap. What a kick. He's got it. 10th kick, 3 goals.
3 goals, 3 in fact. Bruce, 6 shots for goal. Michael Graham's had in this first half. One particular passage of play, when we saw him run up the ground, he was almost exhausted at the end. He really pushed himself for a matter of about 15 seconds and pummeled into players, but on that occasion took the ball flat-footed, just pivoted on his right foot and just floated the ball into the air and casually converted a goal. A goal that Sturt will, I think, like a lot going into half-time, being 5 goals, 8 in front at this stage, and just into the time-on period of the second quarter.
Spiel and Redden together again. Better bounce. Whittlesea goes through centre half forward. Arnold. Good tackle by Barbary. Heinrich. Graham's got another chance.
Bobbed up out of a pothole. Don't know where he came from.
Michael Graham. Kick number 11. 7 handballs. So he's had 18 touches and kicked 3-3. He normally doesn't miss these. Drop punt. Must have heard me. Didn't even sneak in from behind. Disgusted with himself.
He should have kicked further to right-hand post. He knows he's got a severe crosswind. He just tried to ease that ball through. I don't think it had any punch at all. With a very tired leg. Arnold to the outer side. Off hands from Bennett. Spiel. Evades and then kicks at the centre half forward. Motley's underneath it. Armfield's with him. Armfield just crashes in quite blindly. Barbary had a look for Michael Graham then, and Graham will show a bit of pace now. He was just on a bit of a slow motion run there for a moment. Heinrich can't take it, and it's out of bounds. Heinrich and Gayling it was competing in the goal square.
Davies is always very good in the pocket when going for throw-ins. Redden at the back. Redden a little taller. And Trobus weaved his way out of trouble, then handball to a space. Ellis off the ground.
He was forced into that play, Bruce, because of that bad handball from Trobus. Like, if the handball can hit the body, it makes so much difference. It's a rebound now heading through half forward.
Painter, and it's going to be 15 metres against Ellis here.
Well, Painter kicked that with his right foot too. It wasn't a bad kick.
It's not a bad kick on the right leg. Natural left footer, but almost ambidextrous. A la Bucky Cunningham a little.
Yes.
Still not sure if he's a right footer or a left footer. Let's see Painter this time.
I'd kick it to Filkey if I were him. I wouldn't have any hesitation. Gone to Davies instead with his right foot. That is confidence. He had Filkey in front. He was so concentrating on Davies. The kick to Filkey was an absolute certainty, and Filkey's a very good kick also. In fact, I'd say at this point in time, a fraction better kicker than Rick is today.
This is his 10th, Robert. He's kicked 2-4. Normally a full forward has had 10 kicks.
Kicks 4-2.
Well, maybe even more. That's better. That's a goal. So 3-4 to Rick Davies, and Sturt march on to 11-15 to 5-7.
Yes, they're the little plays that I think McNoon has got to eradicate from his inexperienced team, and they are very inexperienced in comparison with the Sturt side. When Trobus came out of defence then, with his reflexive handball, which of course comes from playing in top footy, he's only got a fraction of a second to make his decision, and his decision to give the handball resulted in somewhat an inaccuracy due to a real feel for it.
Spiel and Redden together again. Redden with a tap. Riley's done a very good job. Bennett seemed to be bewildered when Riley gave it to him. Wilson on the run, tried to pick it up one-handed. Ellis fell on top of it. Long handball by Jarman. And Trobus. Big kick getter now. Spill's got him. He's pretty quick. And Trobus to Phillips. Phillips through centre half forward. Chips one to Roach. Now Stanbridge. I think Dietrich might have gone off. Roach in the pocket. Round his body. Hutton takes the mark.
Big bit of defence there by both Downs and Howard. Subranek receives from Hutton. Filkey giving him the lead. Oh, that's a beautiful kick. Not far enough in front. Well done by the defensive action there of Antrobus. Filkey trying to get over the top to Whittlesey. Marks his own kick off hands. Back to Hutton. Out of bounds.
I think Dietrich has gone off, Robert. Can't see him. Stanbridge has gone to full forward. That's a compliment for Downs because Dietrich has been the focal point of North Adelaide's attack.
May have injured himself, Bruce, running that fly a little while ago.
Hay with a tap. McAdam with a snap. Across the face. Stanbridge, Pate. Still Stanbridge and Pate. Stalemate, ball up. Almost half-time.
They probably put Stanbridge up there because of his greater movement than Dietrich. So I think that Downs has had a little bit of trouble, Dietrich had trouble with Downs' movement. So at half-time, 11:15 to Sturt, 5-7 to North Adelaide.
Off the ground, thank you.
Start of the third quarter, Sturt leading 11-15, North Adelaide 5-7. Frank Spill and Mick Ridden have done all the ruck work so far today. Not a good bounce. John Riley's had a lot of touches, the North Adelaide captain. Ray Wilson had a very good first half duel with Matthew Campbell. Sanders in the centre with Spill. Riley tries to barge his way through and it will be a ball up. At quarter time, Sturt led 5-10 to 3-3. They kicked 6-5 in that second term to 2-4.
So Spill and Redden, which is dead heat. Pater kicking it off the ground. No one can take possession. Campbell again. Very nice movement out of the centre. Up to half forward. Reid from behind. Across the front. Hay couldn't take it. He had an opportunity. Reid gives it to Derrington. Derrington straight down the ground. Gives Motley one out with Armfield. Armfield misses the ball off hands. Knocked on by Barbary to Motley. Motley to Filkey. She's evaded beautifully to get it across to Barbary, and all he's going to do is run straight and kick the goal. But he says, no, John Painter, you can have this. John Painter's got the ball, 30 metres out. And he's good enough to kick it. But Davies was on his own. He hesitated for a moment. Frank Spill's just showing him how to kick. That'll be a good choice, Frank showing Johnny Pater how to kick.
Left or right foot? I wonder which one. Left foot.
Oh, like an arrow. He said to kick it to the left-hand post, Frank Spill. And he did, and he missed.
So point to Painter. That's his first score today. 11-16, 5-7. Paul Arnold. No, that's John Brealey's gone back there to Russell Gayling. They've both been sitting together on the interchange bench at one stage today. Gayling with a high drop punt. Spill and Redden, they've had a good duel. Roach with a high one. He's had a lot of kicks. Reid in the front spot and he takes the mark.
He's a real drink of water, Peter Reid, but he does things well, doesn't he? That's a beautiful chest mark. Could have taken the ball in hands or attempted to. Would have been spoiled away easily. Just left his run a bit later and let it come down to his body. Off hands at half forward. Frank Spill diving over the top there of Russell Gayling. Be a bounce down between centre wing and half forward for Sturt.
So Spill and Redden again. Derrington went through his legs and Trobus very well tackled by Filkey.
He's done some good tackles, hasn't he, Bruce?
He has, Robert. He's played very well. Of course, he was going to play on the interchange bench, but Neil Craig dropped out. Now Davies. He's got it.
Read it down his arm. That's a magnificent mark. That's sheer strength, nothing but.
Sturt crowd applaud their champion. 3-4 he's kicked, Robert.
Yeah, a little bit of touch as well as the strength, of course. The fact that he was able to be strong enough to hold his body near the ball. On the other hand, to be able to caress the ball enough to keep it under control.
Didn't kick all that straight in the first half. It's his 11th kick coming up. That is a good one. So Davies has got 4 goals for, and Sturt are 12-16 to 5-7.
Yes, Rick Davies. I think he's kicked about 49 for the year now, Bruce, is that right?
47, Robert.
47 goals for the season, 3 more for the half century.
Kicked 98 last year. I think he'd like to get 100 this year, and he's on target.
Yes, it's only the 9th round. He's certainly done very well. He seems to be moving a lot better. There's still a little bit of a limp in his stride when he walks on that right leg. But I think it's his left leg that's not too good anyway, so I think he's making out.
Redden and Spill, all one way at the moment. Sturt right on top at Unley. Roach gets a free kick. Tony Roach today had 14 kicks. Went to play on. Frank Spill.
Right. Can't run in until the umpire's called play on.
So Roach comes right up to centre half forward. Drop punt. Stanbridge not quite there. There was Hay in the front spot with Reed. Hutton's after it. Set up for him pretty well. And a high one which is going to go very close to out of bounds on the fall. In fact, it doesn't go close, it goes clearly out.
I don't know why Grant Zubrink ran at Russell Hutton then. I think Russell would have been better served to have done the handball in the end. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. The ball's been brought back into play. Been marked at half forward.
By Tony Antrovis. Antrovis with a floater. Fry, finger tipper. Sturt defence has been very good. North Adelaide struggling to kick goals. Dietrich off the field. Fry to the centre. Spill. Redden got bogged down in the centre then. Spill did it well and gave it to Derrington.
That wind's holding the ball up a little bit, Bruce. That really stopped. Redden misread it completely. Now Motley gets another opportunity to get a kick. A quiet second quarter. Ball delivered to him better. That's a magnificent kick, carrying quite some distance down the ground. Slightly floating. Peter Motley, the magnificent first quarter he played, and they shifted Michael Armfield onto him, and he's been following him around, hasn't given him any room to breathe, but Sturt haven't needed him.
Redden and Davies. And Trobus round his body with a high one. Derrington takes the mark. So Rover to Rover. Wilson provides a lead. Graham's very short in the pocket. That's where he goes.
Just put him perhaps within distance. When I say perhaps, the wind's across his body from left to right. If he gets onto the kick, I'm sure he can cover that distance. Michael Graham requiring his best to kick Sturt's 13. He's gone for the screw punt, that's his worst. Davies in the front, he doesn't get it off hands. Barbary, he's disposed of. Ball and bodily. Kick through for behind to the rush department. Sturt are now 12 goals plenty. What's plenty? 17 I think it is, to 5 goals 7.
Sanders with a drop punt. Jarman can't keep it in play and it'll be a ball in. North Adelaide struggling to find a winner up forward. Hay had some touches at centre half forward in the first half. And Trobus kicked a couple of early goals. But all in all, North Adelaide up against it. Riley, Sanders tried to weave his way through. Hay will get a free kick. Spiel getting into his back. Stephen Hay, who was named in a forward pocket, but started at centre half forward. Drop punt towards the pocket. Dietrich back on the field. Downs with him. So Bennett. Dietrich. Fry's got him. Barbary. Dietrich's tackle was okay on Barbary. Hutton has got Howard if he wants him. Comes across the face of goal and forced to kick in a hurry and out of bounds on the full.
That's a careless error. He did that beautifully then, Russell Hutton. Then just miskicked the ball. He didn't really aim it strongly enough for the spot he was going for, which was the space ahead of Ray Wilson. So Tony Antrobus certainly knows how to get where the ball is. Kick right into the square, in fact across the square. Fumbled mark there by Bennett. In fact, I think he fumbled it over the line and it'll be given a behind. In fact, it has been. The umpire conferring with the goal umpire. So behind the North Adelaide, they're 5-8. Sturt at 12 goals, 17.
And Trovis kicked the first 2 goals for North Adelaide. He's had 16 kicks today. So Downs. Almost down the centre, now coming to half-back. Spiel gave him the lead. Redden goes with him. Riley. Whittlesey with him.
Whittlesey did that well too. He knocked it off his hand, but Riley's recovered well to Hay. Hay pinched it from him. He wasn't going to mess around. Took it strongly and goes to half forward. Bennett's made good position, doesn't get a favourable bounce. Hutton again, eludes. Zubranek loves to handball. Zubranek, Painter, Graham. Sturt champs off, going in short and strong to Davies, just like last week. Last week, Michael Graham coming down the grandstand wing at Football Park, kicked another daisy cutter to Rick Davies. He's done a repeat performance today with a beautiful movement out of defence. The handball on by Painter was certainly quick. And in the old days, we might have seen Michael Graham go running down the ground at 100 mile an hour. It looks like that anyway. Have a shot himself. He's chosen to skillfully pass it on to the Sturt full forward, who'll need his best kick too. Behind off hands, Sturt 12-18, North Adelaide 5-8.
Brealey to bring her back in. North Adelaide losing Clisby with an injury, and they've had a couple of players at full back today on Davies, Arnold and Brealey. Stephen Riley towards his brother John, and Trobus, 17th kick coming up. Dietrich Downs.
Well done by Dietrich then, Bruce. Managed to get around to Andrew Downs and hold his ground. Where has Paul Arnold gone, I wonder, Bruce? I wonder if he's injured himself. I hope not.
Interchange bench at the moment, I'd think. Dietrich has kicked just a point. It's another very ordinary kick. Hasn't made the distance. This is a man who kicked 10 goals 2 weeks ago and 6 last week, right out of touch.
Russell Hutton. Painter in front. Roach. Opportunity there for North Adelaide to score. And through from behind from the boot of Jarman. So Andrew Jarman, very young player, not able to convert. Perhaps with a little bit of experience under his belt, he might punch a couple of those home with a little bit more confidence than he played with that kick.
Downs to centre half back. Spew and Hay against one another. Pake with the run of it. Long handball. Whittlesey. Hay's got him. Interferes with him.
Yeah. He's given a free kick for holding on then, in fact. I think the free kick should have been given for in the back, Bruce.
So, centre wing. Greg Whittlesey with a drop punt. Motley in the front spot. Davies was going to take a leap at the back, saw Motley was there. Gayling, Ellis and Trobus with a long handball to Bennett.
Barbry's caught out of position again then, Bruce, and Trobus getting to the fall of the ball. Barbary not able to. And Trobus running on to receive.
Brenton Phillips, now Dietrich on a lead. He's got his second mark for the quarter.
He looks better from the front spot, Bruce.
Well, but he seems to be laying back on his kicks. He hasn't kicked the ball with any punch. Now, he really must convert from here.
He always tends to do that, though. He looks a bit lazy, but he's got a very strong leg. It's probably better for him to be a little bit more relaxed. He's nice and smooth in on the movement. It's a beautiful kick. It's only his timing, I think, that's been letting him down. He makes no mistake on that occasion. North of 6-9, Sturt 12-18.
First goal to Dietrich. Again, Ian Trobus, very busy player. That long run from the back line to Phillips. Phillips, the drop punt. Dietrich on the lead. He took the mark. And then Robert, he tried a screw punt rather than a drop punt. And he did kick it very straight and very strongly. North Adelaide is 6-9 to 12-18, and Dietrich has got 1 goal, 1.
So Frank Spiel and Mick Redden, they've been battling it out all day. Sturt haven't used their interchange player, Sims. Redden knocking it to Riley. He's taken a couple of good takes in the centre, John Riley. And Trover showing a bit of dash. Wilson's after him. Very good tackle by Reid. Just takes the ball out of Antrovus' hands. Really grabbed his body, but he had enough hold on the ball just to stop Tony Antrovus getting a kick at the goal. It's a bounce down at centre half back. Redden in front. Just lays it off beautifully to McAdam. McAdam across to Campbell. Campbell gives it across to the big fellow Bennett. Bennett goes in short and miskicks. Fry.
Derrington with the run of it. Davies on a lead. Yes. Four juggles at it. 4 goals, 4 to Davies. A lot of kicks. This is his 13th coming up.
Brother going out to Malcolm Grieslow, going out to Frank Spiel to get him to have a change. Trevor Sims is going to be given a run on the ball. It's a good time to change over now too. I think it's hard work to get Frank off the ground. He loves to run and work. Not frightened a bit of hard work, Frank's Bill. That's a magnificent kick by Rick Davies. His fifth goal for the afternoon. Sturt of 13-18, leading North Adelaide 6-9.
Rick Davies giving Jeff Motley, who's in the grandstand and the chairman of the South Australian selection panel, plenty to think about today. He's won the ball magnificently. That mark under tremendous pressure. Juggled it, and he kicked very strongly from centre half forward.
Back to the centre. Trevor Sims in there now. McAdam takes it from Big Redden's knock. It's very important to have this extra ruckman with her prepared to do a bit of work. I think Trevor Sims would be well served too to come in alongside his opponent occasionally in that fashion there. Well taken, Derrington. Reid gets it to boot to the outer side. Three Sturt players after the ball. Zubrick's going to be first there, but the ball's too good. Sliding on the ground, then getting a bit of top spin and running out of bounds as the rain, she starts to come down.
Had the Four Seasons at Unley today. Sims and Red. Sims won the tap. Heinrich, the ball will get very slippery, I should imagine. Derrington around his body. Stephen Riley with the run of it. Armfield. Graham. Wilson, that was a tremendous take. Barbary. Graham. Snapshot. Oh, it's close. He's got it. What a goal. That's his fourth. And the Double Blues are 14-18 to 6-9. And there is Mick Noonan. They're not tears, of course. That's the rain pelting down.
That was a magnificent movement by Ray Wilson then as he came down the grandstand wing. His evasion, and then after doing a couple of twists, he still had enough coolness and presence of mind to get the ball across. And finally, Michael Graham doing one of his favourite tricks, that is kicking the ball over his shoulder. He seems to do that with a great deal more skill at times than he does running straight.
John Howard must be pretty happy. Sturt leading by 102 to 45. And of course, they want to hold on to that top spot on percentage. Bennett tried to get the handball away. Graham's had 23 touches today. Filthy, magnificent handball. Whittlesey. Oh, that's good football. Home it is. It's 15-18 to 6-9.
Well, that's a magnificent bit of play there by Craig Filkey. Filkey's come into the Sturt side today off the interchange bench, having replaced Neil Craig, who's got a bad shoulder. And Craig Filkey's that play then in the middle of that pack, and to send that handball out with that accuracy just made an absolute certainty for Greg Whittlesey, and Greg Whittlesey certainly did it well. I noticed Trevor Sims having a stretch up here prior to going in for this knock. He's obviously feeling a little bit stiff just coming off the bench. He's worked pretty hard in that stretch. Redden lays it down to Derrington. Derrington goes long with a handball out to Zubrick. Zubrick's quite happy to wait now on the attack side. Sturt are playing with so much confidence. And Peter Motley sneaks around Michael Graham and takes the mark at half forward.
1-1 to Motley today. There's Frank Spule and Neville Cunningham, chairman of selectors. Very strong kick by Motley, but just snuck it in for a behind.
Now Pi's just done a 50-metre sprint around the boundary line.
I was going to say, I thought it was going through for a point, but he just kept going and going and going.
He didn't want to slip over on the slippery ground, Bruce. He's no fool.
Might have got a cheer if he had. 1-2 to Motley. Brealey's kick. Whittlesey went the spoil. Bennett caught, and it'll be a ball up. So Sturt has had 54 scoring shots to 15 as Craig Stanbridge starts to get himself warmed up and stretched to come on.
Sims trying to get front position, but Red's too tall. Riley gets his hands on it, and he can't get rid of it. Filkey goes flying over the top of him, and John Riley gets a free kick. He's done a very good job in the centre. Greg Whittlesey's played no really important part in the game, except to do a couple of nice things. Certainly not a commanding performance. Jarman, Campbell, good player Campbell. Howard from behind. Gives it across to Hutton. Hutton to Zubrick. This defence looks pretty good with her. Now Howard decides he'll have a bit of a run. We haven't seen him stretch out like that for a while. 200th game today. And he goes into the dead pocket though. He'll be a bit cross with himself. I think he might have been better served to go straight at Rick Davies and ignore those leads in the short. And it's out of bounds in the forward pocket. Sturt leading 15-19 to 6-9.
Ellis off. Malcolm Ellis and Craig Stanbridge on. Sims in the front spot. Roach appeals for a free kick. Barbary, and Barbary will get the free kick.
They're very similar. They've got that little springy movement, haven't they, Bruce? And
of course, their hair's been wet now, so it looks about the same colour. It's a lovely kick, Barbary. That one to Davies. Two up against him. Now Painter. Whittlesey. Took a little time to try and get the handball away. Painter.
Painter worked a lot harder then. It's good to see. Moved a lot better.
Heinrich. Jarman's handball to Roach. No, that's Malloy. Malloy with a left footer.
To centre half forward. Howard reading it well. Takes the mark. Gives it away to Eddie Fry. He's running across the ground. Howard recovers for him. Sturt now with opportunity. His handball to Fry's not good. And here's Ann Travis once again waiting back. Loves to get his kicks like that. They're the easy kicks to get. Take advantage of the error, and he hasn't taken advantage of the error. That's a very bad miss by Tony Travis. 2-1 to him. 6 goal 10 now, North Adelaide. Trailing Sturt 15-19.
And Travis, a lot of kicks, should have goaled there. North finding it very difficult today to score. Downs to the centre square. That's a marvellous kick. Barbary. She's a neat kick, Robert.
That's a magnificent kick, Bruce.
To his co-rover in Derrington on the flank.
Straight to Davies, I'd say. No, straight to the opposition. And Stephen Malloy rebounding for North Adelaide.
To Bennett. Bennett on the half-forward flank. Drop punt. Roach. Reed did that beautifully. Just laid it down to Hutton. To Downs. John Halbert must be happy with this defence. Motley the front spot. Couldn't hold it. Spinning his way out of trouble for North Adelaide, it was Malloy giving it to McAdam. Sims in the centre patch. Filkey. Zubranic. Zubranic to Pate. Painter. Free kick.
So Sturt is certainly very exciting in defence. Craig Stanbridge in a bit of trouble there. He hurt his shoulder. I think he's got bad shoulders too, if my memory serves me correctly. He's hurt it in the past. Painter using his right foot again. Goes to Davies. Davies just brushes the player aside. Shows a bit of dash. He could have kept running. Shows against it. Wilson gives it back to Davies. Davies can't get it. Whittlesey's up there. It's a free kick for a too high bump, I think it was, being hit in the head. Player just charging in. So Craig Stanbridge has come in. He's got a very bad shoulder. He's obviously in a bit of pain in that collision. Had an unfortunate career with his injuries. A couple of bad ones.
Whittlesey. Lovely kick. Beautiful goal to Whittlesey. That's his second. 16-19 to 6-10. Craig Stanbridge in pain. Looks like he's going to go down the race, or did he? It's hard to tell from here. Yes, he did. Whittlesey, who's had a quiet start to the day, Robert, is getting a bit better as it goes on.
So Sturt, 16-19, leading North Adelaide 6-10. And we're about 21 minutes into the quarter, the third quarter. McAdam just effectively tripped Sims over as he ran in for the knock. Then North Adelaide get it forward. Eddie Fry's nearly tackled. Hutton, Sims scoots past him. Not an easy ball to take. North Adelaide now into attack, and Trobus in front. Howard from behind. Downs with pace. He's tackled by Dietrich, and Trobus recovers. He's got another opportunity now. Reed's come on to him quickly. Just cut his leg, made him panic a little bit. It's out of bounds in the forward pocket for North Adelaide.
This Sturt defence has been outstanding, especially after half-time. Their teamwork together has been first class. So Hay and Sims. Sims in the front spot. Fry gave it a little nudge to Barbary, and Barbary kicked that ball cleverly around his body. Paul Wilson's got high skill. Drop punt. Motley out of position momentarily. It's got it to Graham. Now Graham can go to Derrington or Davies. Gee, they're good to watch, Robert.
That's what experience does. When you get the opportunity to play, a lot of young players tend to panic a little bit when they've got the opportunity to really sew the game up. Michael Graham made a choice then, decided to go for the longer kick because he knew that Davies was a lot closer to goal. That's a beautiful leg. I don't think he's got it though. Behind to Rick Davies. He's kicked 5 goals, 5 this afternoon. 16-20 Sturt. North Adelaide, 6 goals, 10.
Sturt has kicked 5-5 to 1-3 since half-time. They're dominating this game.
So, John Brearley to the grandstand side. Wilson from behind. He's not good enough over the big fellow Matthew Campbell. Very good player, Campbell. Campbell up the wing. John Riley, nice stretch too, and balance when he came to ground then. Held his feet, ever ready. into the centre of the ground. Eddie Fry reads it well. Charges on. Doesn't steady himself on the kick. Playing in front's Motley. Motley right in. Davies making a quick yard. He can't hold ground, but he's got the ball back under him somehow, then throws it out. Michael Graham with the opportunity. Receives the ball from John Painter and scores full point. The Sturt crowd loving it as Michael Graham kicks his 5th goal. In fact, he's kicked 5 goals, 3. He's beaten everything up in that forward line. Sturt 17-20, North Adelaide 6 goals, 10.
Davies going for that mark. Motley kicking the ball a long way around his body. Didn't quite get it, but he kept it there and he tapped it out. Finally got to Painter. Painter's handball very good to Graham. And Graham kicked a Graham specialty, high and a snap. And it came round and went through. And the Sturt camp must be absolutely thrilled with the way things are happening at the moment.
Malcolm Greaslade having just done a lap of honour and patted everyone on the tail that took part in the last play. See Mick Redden getting another knock forward to Greg McAdam. John Riley, McAdam, oh, well done Riley, under pressure, just gave it across to McAdam at close quarters, down spoiling away from Dietrich. Bennett evades, goes to handball but can't get away. Roach, left foot, looks pretty straight from here. Goal. So that's full points to North Adelaide, 7-10 now, trailing Sturt 17-20.
2-2 to Roach. Been a very hard worker for North Adelaide today. He's had 15 kicks. Riley did that very well in the centre. Got some help from McAdam. Got it back to McAdam. McAdam's kick towards Bennett. Bennett actually throwing the ball away, but fortunately for North Adelaide, Roach's left foot went through. Riley today 10 kicks and 15 handballs, the captain. He's done some of his best work in that centre.
So Trevor Sims coming in from a little bit more on the side this time of Mick Redden. Puts his hand on the ball, follows it through. Heinrich having a run on the ball, throws it. Free kick, Greg McAdam. Just backward of centre. Kick covering some 40 metres to half forward. Howard in front onto the ball. Well done, Hay. Got in there quickly, but Howard hits it with his left hand. Zubranik dummies the handball, then forced to kick. Armfield interfered with from behind this time by Peter Motley, who'll take the free kick on the half-back flank for North Adelaide.
Played a good game, Michael Armfield. He went to centre half-back when Motley started brilliantly, and he shut him out pretty well. Motley still done some good things.
Trevor Sims thought he was going to get the free kick then. Had a little smile to himself. I think she was a lock-in battle.
Redden, very short, out of bounds on the full.
Players will lead to the boundary line. I think Tony Antrobus takes a real chance standing on a boundary line expecting a kick. It's only got to be a couple of yards out, particularly if you're kicking across the ground. Derrington on to Wilson. Wilson just throws it out in front of him. Oh, well done there at half back by Big Redden. Riley to half forward.
McAdam having a better quarter this term, was very quiet early. Antrobus high. Bennett and Hutton. Hutton thumps the ball away. Now Dietrich has got a chance. It'll sit up. It's still in play. It's still in play. Roach comes back to Antrobus and he'll take an easy mark. 20 kicks coming up for Antrobus. He's had 19. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. Kicked the first 2 goals for North Adelaide today. And Robert, this is the sort of goal that a top-class rover should be able to kick.
This is the last one. He should have learned his lesson. He's gone to the right post this time. Always had a chance. The wind probably dying it down a little bit. You can rely on that, but still he gave it an opportunity. Not quite strong enough. 2-2 now to Tony Antrobus. Third to 17 goals, 20. Giving North a thorough bath at the moment. North Adelaide, 7 goals, 11. Ray Wilson. Tries a screw punt, going for a bit of extra distance. Filkey in front, very nice mark. Played an excellent game on the half-forward flank. His first quarter was exceptional, his competition. He and Peter Motley. He goes straight towards Rick Davies. The 2 up against 1 down there all the time against Davies now. Motley chasing after Armfield, just handballs it out towards the boundary line. Free kick there for Sturt against Russell Gayling for holding the ball.
And it'll be a 15-metre penalty as well, so Philip Heinrich is a real sharpshooter. He's in his range, Robert. He kicked one down the other end earlier today. Opposite pocket.
Yeah, distance is going to be nothing. Accuracy
Drop punt. Across the face of goal. It's a behind to Heinrich. So he's got 1-3 today. He's kicked 199 goals in his 136 games, so that's almost getting up towards 1.5 goals a game.
17-21 to Sturt, North 7-11. John Brearley from fullback, having replaced Paul Arnold. Must have something wrong. Sims flies high from behind, can't complete the mark. Riley competing well, knocks it on beautifully to Campbell. Campbell to Antrobus. He's certainly getting to the fall of the ball, Antrobus. He's working hard. Derrington tries to cut his leg, but he can't. Dietrich from behind. Fry. Howard. Howard taking a chance on this kick to Downs. The kick's too good, and Downs' mark's excellent as he gives it across to Hutton. Hutton to Painter. Painter working hard on Bennett to receive. Goes with his right foot again towards Davies. It's one out now. Davies from the front, spoiled away well. Motley on his left foot. It's a pretty good kick. Hit the post. So Peter Motley's kicked 1 goal 3. Sturt 17-22. North Adelaide 7-11.
Brearley to bring it in again. 10 goals, 11 the difference. Painter underneath it. Jarman from the back. Still with Painter. Almost scoops it back to Zubranik. Armfield's there. Jarman, a little left footer. Brenton Phillips takes it on the half volley. Andrew Jarman. Tony Roach. Drop punt to centre half forward. Hay on a lead. Good kick. Hay takes the mark.
Still kicking across the ground a lot though, Bruce. They won't attack Grenville Dietrich with any confidence, will they? I reckon he's gained about 10 metres in actual length then for that kick.
Hay to the goal square. McAdam took off early. It's a goal. So McAdam really interfering in the flight for Sturt as the siren goes. It's 17-22 to 8-11. Hay kicking a goal on the siren for North Adelaide.
Start of the last quarter, Sturt are leading 17 goals 22 to North Adelaide 8-11 as Frank Spill's back on the ground to replace Trevor Sims in the ruck against Mick Redden. Spill just knocks it forward, kicking it forward. Sanders, one of the many times he's done so, to Hay at centre half forward. He can't complete the mark, gives it to Roach. Roach making good position, and it's a magnificent kick to the goal square. Downs dropping back. Through from behind, give Tony Roach a score there. He's kicked 2 goals 3. North Adelaide are 8-12, Sturt 17-22.
Downs looks towards Spill. Redden's with him. Spill takes the mark. 2 of the top knock ruckmen in South Australia against one another. Both players have been useful today without being outstanding. Motley in the front spot. Armfield and Trobus, the biggest kick getter on the ground. Left foot. Got some distance with it. Or Dietrich hung there for a while. Fry. Hutton. Howard. He's got Pake short. And that's the way he goes.
Howard. Showed a couple of good movements today, Brendan had. Oh, that's a magnificent kick. That's strong. Motley's interfered with. He doesn't want the free anyway. Whittlesey can't take the ball. Gives off a poor handball to Heinrich. Heinrich dummies a handball. Kicks a left foot quickly in towards Davies. And he's marked it. Got it in him on the top of the fingers, I think, Bruce. It's got sticky on there. So Rick Davies from 10 metres.
12 marks, Robert, and 15 kicks to Davies today.
A bit wobbly on his leg when he went sideways then, Bruce, as you can see that when he just went to shuffle across to the side. Knee obviously a little bit unstable on that particular movement. And Rick Davies. It's a goal. Sturt 18-22, North Adelaide 8-12.
6-5 for Davies. He's had another very, very good game. Motley probably should have got a free kick there, but Sturt played it on quickly. Handball coming from Derrington. Whittlesey couldn't quite get it up. Got to Heinrich. Heinrich had a chance to handball, decided not to. Kicked the left foot around his body, and it was a real finger tipper by Davies. It stuck there, really coming over the top of him. Davies too strong, and then converted.
So Mick Redden and Frank Spill yet again. Running straight onto one another. And probably become pretty even during the day. Tried to lay it down then, Spill, but he couldn't. Picked up by Riley. Campbell can't take it. A free kick in the centre of the ground to Ray Wilson. Had a very good game too, Ray Wilson. He and Matthew Campbell. Two good young players up to half forward. Motley in front, gets out of his hands. It's like Sanders back in there, or knocked back very well there by Painter. Good bit of team play. Barbary, it scoots past him, the handball inaccurate, and Travis is tackled, does a somersault, gives it to Redden. Redden wide.
Ellis with a floater. Jarman centre wing. Went to play on and then one-handed the ball away. Got away from Graham. Stephen Riley. Gayling. High drop punt. Dietrich. And Downs. Reed. She's played another nice game today, Reed. It's a floater. And it'll go, yes it will, out of bounds. It's not a lot happening for North Adelaide. They're trailing by 10 goals, 10. And coming on top of their loss during the week. And last week when they seemed to have the game won, it's going to take a little bit for them to recover and become a finals proposition.
Bennett a little bit slow getting rid of it. And Trobus yet again, receiving from Sanders. Into the pocket, flying high Downs. Ball out of bounds, forward pocket for North Adelaide. North Adelaide can't seem to become direct enough to get into Dietrich, one out. And even if it comes off hands, they'll probably read it. Tony Roach has certainly read the ball fairly well. And Reed's competing with Hay. Reed swiping the ball forward, backing into Hay, and Hay interferes over the shoulder. Peter Reed playing centre half back for Sturt and playing it very well at the moment.
High drop punt. Spiel on a lead. He takes it on his chest in front of Brenton. Spiel was given a bit of a breather in the third quarter, about 15 minutes when Sims was on the ground. Poor old Redden's been going all day. Motley underneath it. Armfield, who's done a good job on him. Motley knocks it on. Quick handball by Ellis. Armfield's handball to Stephen Riley. Chips it to Matthew Campbell. Jarman. Sanders. Goes wide. Bennett. Hutton did it very well. Again in direct North Adelaide. Hutton towards Motley. Armfield with him. Armfield's played well. Riley. Darrington takes the mark. Darrington's handball gives Zubrnik the run of it.
Zubrnik will go straight to the goal square to Davies. Davies coming out. He's got it on his chest. There's an advantage free kick is played against North Adelaide. North Adelaide player there, young man, Andrew Jarman, arguing with the umpire. The runner there just telling him to get back into his box. Not to get upset. Number one rule of experience. Michael Armfield's within his rights to stand next to Rick Davies. He only has to be 10 metres from the man on the mark, and I would say he's 15 to 20. That's an incorrect decision by the umpire, in my opinion. Davies throwing the ball up in the air, showing a little bit of emotion that's unnecessary from him. Wants to count your mercies and think yourself lucky you're being given anything, particularly if it's incorrect. The player is allowed to be within 10 metres of the mark. Rick Davies, 12 metres. If he misses it, he'll get a nice serve. But he didn't. Put the pressure on himself. Responded. That's Rick Davies' 7th goal for the afternoon.
Sturt go marching on. Zubrnik being fouled after disposal. I don't think it made much difference because I'm pretty sure Davies had the mark at full forward. Zubrnik's got better and better as the game's gone on. A lot of touches, Zubrnik now. 10 kicks and 7 handballs. That's 17 all up. Davies, of course, has been a focal point for the attacks. He's kicked 7 goals, 5, and been a big, big winner.
And Mark Heinrich on the ground for Sturt in the forward pocket. It'll be Frank Spiel and Mick Redden. The bounce favouring Michael Graham. In fact, went straight past Redden. Graham can't pick it up. Riley, Redden, Campbell. Graham after him, but Campbell's showing him a clean pair of heels following a nice shepherd there by David Sanders. Michael Graham hoping he might get a free kick. Dietrich thinking he can fool the umpire, gives it to McAdam. He's tackled and is holding the ball. It's not McAdam at all. I'm quite wrong. It's Tony Roach. So Brenton Howard to relief for Sturt.
Goes short. Almost finds the boundary umpire. But Wilson was on the lead and now out of bounds. Sturt dominated the game all day. They started really well in that first term and they kicked 5-10 to the non-scoring end. Tap out by Hay. Campbell around his body. Howard went through his fingers. Dietrich. Fry. across the face of goal, but a very good kick. Zubernick did it well. He's beaten Brenton Phillips handsomely today. Pate 2 times on the ground. She's got some pace. Now Davies again. Punched away by Brealey. Armfield. Spill's in there. Free kick against Spill, and will go to Mick Red.
Yeah, kicking in danger. Well, certainly wasn't a dangerous kick. It's a very controlled little push, but umpire's not allowing that to happen. If they allow that to go, of course, more dangerous kicks will come in. Sanders receives, goes around his body back to the centre. There's a straight past Bennett. Spill, Graham. Derrington on the outer side. So Jim Derrington going straight to Davies again, confidently. Redden's back there. The ball certainly stopped there. Mark Heinrich picks it up. Just showing what happens when there's 3 blokes in the air all trying to beat one. There's plenty of opportunity for the man on the ground, but Mark Heinrich unable to convert. Kicks it behind.
Sturt leading 137 to 60. 19-23 to 8-12. Brealey looks towards his captain. Riley takes the mark. Handballs quickly on to Gayling. Drop punt. Bennett and Trobus. There's a lot of his kicks around the wings. That's a good one.
Must be some room there, Bruce, because Michael Ace does the same. They run around that line there. 100 mile an hour. I reckon they pick up about 8 to 10 kicks every Saturday with that sort of movement.
There's had 24 kicks and Trobus. Jarman runs around Howard. And goals. Well done by the young 17-year-old. Jarman's first goal. He's kicked 1 goal, 3 today. North Adelaide get one. They're 9-12 to 19-23.
Brendan Howard committing the fatal mistake there, jumping in the air instead of keeping his feet on the ground, and Andrew Jarman seizing the opportunity, made the extra yard. Perhaps if Brendan had stayed on the ground, he might have just been able to put enough pressure to force that kick. But Jarman evaded very well. So Spiel and Redden. Redden to Riley. He's done that many times today. Riley certainly stayed in that position on the attack side of the bounce to receive every knockdown that Redden's given. He's done a pretty good job at holding his ground and competing for the ball. Reed high, can't grab it. Howard evades very well, coming across the ground, then changes direction on the kick and goes up the centre towards Whittlesey. He can't get it, and Trobus is in there again. Zubernick scoops it out with his foot, but North Adelaide with now with an opportunity to half forward through Sanders. Bennett. Bennett to the front of the square. Howard. Brendan Howard in the front position. 200 games. He's got Barbary over on his left. He hasn't seen him. He has now. So Craig Barbary, and there's a whole heap of Sturt players. Barbary up to the centre wing. Ray Wilson. Ray Wilson will go to Filkey. No, he won't. He'll probably go longer. Perhaps I should have said he should have gone longer, but Malloy couldn't intercept. Filkey with one of his prodigious kicks, and he is a very good kick. Davies has marked him in the goal square. So he's going to let it go, but I think he looks like the idea of 15 and 10 and things like that. Sort of got those memories. But at this point of time, Rick Davies can have as many kicks for goal as he likes. I think Sturt have got this well and truly sewn up. 19-23 to 9-12. And they've certainly played very, very smooth football. Davies, beautiful kick, number 8. 8 goals, 5 for the big fellow. So Sturt are 20 goals, 23, leading North Adelaide 9-12.
Yes, that was a great passage of play. Howard getting the ball across to Barbary. Barbary going to the wing. Wilson going to Filkey. Filkey recovering well and with a magnificent kick to the goal square. Davies with a big pair of hands. He's a magnificent mark. Converted. And Robert, he's played so well again today. I just wonder if he'll be on the plane next Friday and going to Perth.
He's on the end of a very, very smooth moving unit.
20-23 to 9-12. Sturt doing it on the bit at Unley with the sun shining at the moment. And Trobus, 25 kicks. That's not a good one. Try at the back, not paid. Phillips gets it to Roach. Roach's handball was not accurate, gave Riley little chance. Reed caught, holding the ball. So John Riley, who's been just about North Adelaide's best player, I'd say, today. He hasn't had as many kicks as Antrobus and a couple of the others, but his work has been very good.
It's the first time I've seen an umpire for a long time give a 15-metre penalty and the player hops up off the ground and leaves the ball lying there. I think it's an excellent 15-metre penalty. Should happen all the time. What a kick. Up that, young Harold. Straight through the centre to John Riley. 10 goals, 12 North Adelaide. 20 goals, 23 to Sturt.
Riley's had 14 kicks and 16 handballs today. His best play has been in the centre. He's won the ball out of the centre on a number of occasions to bring other players into the game. And that was a marvellous kick by the captain. North Adelaide have won the ball out of the centre 14 times to 8.
So Frank Spiel and Mick Redden again. Just straight down the centre, the ball going nowhere. Tapped over his head by Riley. Heinrich's in the centre. He's got a bit of pace too, and he's come on the ball the last few weeks like this. Well intercepted on the back line by Malloy. Davies gives it up to Derrington. Derrington with the simplest of goals. Runs in, converts. 21-23 Sturt, 10-12 North Adelaide. The Sturt march on their merry way.
Philip Heinrich winning the ball out of the centre. He went towards Davies. North Adelaide player getting in the road of Davies. He just couldn't quite take it on his chest. And he scooped the ball up beautifully to Derrington, and the Rover converted on the run. Davies has kicked 8 today. Derrington's got 2. Sturt are making a one-act affair of this game. They're leading by 11 goals, 11 at the moment. Real percentage booster to the Double Blues, coming on top of their big win last week. Robert, they went to the top of the ladder for the first time last week. They were there for a lot of weeks last year. I wonder if they can hang on a little longer this season.
They're certainly playing with a little bit more maturity to Peter Motley and so on this year, and now Peter Reid coming to the side. I think they look as though they've a little bit more depth than they had last year. Frank Spiel and Mick Redden. They've contested the ball 31 times in the middle, plus the starts of the quarter, so I suppose 34 times. Zubrin goes to kick the ball off the ground, has a complete airy. Riley again. He's very good at close quarters. He's kicking to half forward, Roach in front. Fry's marked that ball all but. He spoiled it with his fist and then almost held ground and control of the ball, but not able to do so. So it's out of bounds on the half forward line for North Adelaide. Spiel in front, Hay backing back into him. I would think that Frank Spiel will take the free kick because I think it was Bennett that was interfered with Spiel from behind.
Hutton, a floater, front spot Ellis takes the mark. He was on the interchange bench in the middle part of this game.
Filkey spoiled that ball, I reckon, Bruce, and he took it off his hands.
So to centre half forward, Hay and Reid, they've had a good duel. Howard played a very useful game for his 200th. He'll remember the match with a lot of pride. Handball by Phillips. Riley. McCadden didn't quite run for him. Reid has played well.
That was beautifully run back into the fence, wasn't it? He got around the back of his opponent.
Bennett and Zubrinick. Laurie Argent just letting it go on.
He punched him in the nose. Argent said, "Sirs, you're right, get off him."
So Bennett to centre half forward. Hay, strong man. Wilson tried to knock him off the ball, he couldn't. Hay's handball to Campbell. Pate's got him. Reid, Howard, just chips one to Wilson. Didn't quite get to him. Ellis and Filkey had a wrestle. Still with Wilson. Left foot by Ellis around his body, a high one. McAdam, Howard and Jarman. Hay stood down, then went to give the handball off, then around his body towards full forward. Roach and Fry. Riley covering some ground. And Dietrich takes a lucky mark.
They've hit heads, those two blokes. I think he hurt himself a bit then, Whittlesey, as did Riley.
I think Riley's won the centre, Robert. Whittlesey's done all right, but Riley over 4 quarters.
Oh, Riley's had a lot of touches. He's played a very good game. Grenville Dietrich, 25 metres from goal. Just coming in with the leg, but not enough. So he kicks it behind for North Adelaide. They're 10-13. Sturt at 21-23.
Andrew Downs has had a very good game today. One of Sturt's best.
His kicking's been superb from fullback. Oh, that's a good mark. Free kick against Spuolo, interfering with Bennett.
Bennett's played usefully, left foot. Dietrich on a lead. Downs was with him all the way. Sanders has got the pace. Might have got leg there. He might have tripped over Dietrich's leg. It's going to be a ball in.
Frank Spiel coming off again as Trevor Sim comes on. Out of bounds in the back pocket for Sturt, forward pocket for North Adelaide, right next to the behind post. Reid knocking it forward to Riley. He's everywhere. He's working his heart out. And Trobus. Round his body goes Roach. And Downs is back in the goal square again. Wilson's taken off, but Campbell took off with him. Well done. Forced the handball from Downs. Derrington. Filkey's made one of his few errors. Receives a free kick for holding on. Plays on. Good interception though. Filkey knocks it on to Derrington, who's run on up the ground. Gives it to Sims. Sims looking for the handball. Has just come off the bench. Can't find the body. Bennett, well done, over the back. Graham working hard. He can't get it. Stephen Riley rebounds for North Adelaide towards Campbell back on the wing. Don't know what he's doing, but he wasn't checking Ray Wilson. He let him run on up the ground unattended. Wilson taps the ball out of bounds when he gets back. So North Adelaide saved the bacon on this occasion.
I've got to feel a bit for Trevor Sims, Robert. He just came off the bench, then he'll be as cold as anything because he was looking for somebody to run past, and he virtually handballed to a space. It's Hay in the front spot, holds it underneath him. Jarman comes out with it, and he's going to get a free kick for something.
Holding on to his arm. He certainly held onto his arm. That's why he threw the ball, I think.
Yeah, I thought he had hold of the ball.
He did. He grabbed his arm, and it flopped out of his hand, and the umpire called play. He must have held onto him a little bit too long.
Jarman with a high one. Dietrich and Downs. Riley's getting deep into that attacking area. Whittlesley's getting back with him. He just laid it up to Howard. Well, Howard's playing well, isn't he,
That's
Robert?
good footy, Bruce. He was blind, that player, to Brenton Howard. He had a look up the grandstand wing. When it wasn't on, he quickly went back to Heinrich, who was still out on that side of the ground. That's confidence. Sturt are playing confidently. That's a very confident kick to Ray Wilson, just ahead of Sanders. Wilson to the wing, to Michael Graham. Graham gives it off to Reid. Reid's going to get caught, but not before he gets the boot away. But standing in the road, Stephen Malloy. One of the few times that Sturt haven't competed on that half-forward line.
Drop punt. McAdams underneath it. Whittlesey and Riley. Pake. Still Riley. She's been a terrier. And it's going to be a ball up.
Greg Whittlesey's got back into defence very well. Even though Riley's got to the ball a lot, he hasn't been able to do a great deal with his kicks. Whittlesey certainly plays a very good defensive role, and when he gets used to the centre of the attacking part as well, he's probably playing it a bit like a back pocket at the moment and watching his man closely. It's good to see. There's nothing wrong with being a bit defensive in the centre of the ground.
Brenton Howard did it for a number of years for Sturt, and successfully. And Trobus with a high one. Jarman takes the mark. Played usefully, the young teenager.
See Howard waiting back here now, Bruce, on McAdams for that handball. Just anticipated that. That's what I was talking about a moment ago. They stand back on the defensive side. If you try to run, they come from the defensive action, and they put the pressure on. He's done it very well, Howard. That's a good kick, too, to Zubranic. Zubranic's interfered with by Hay.
Howard's had 16 kicks today, Robert.
Not bad for a back pocket player. He's done it unobtrusively, hasn't he?
And he really hasn't wasted one.
I think that's one of the things about his game over the years. It's just how unobtrusive he is. What he does very neatly and efficiently. There's no flair about it all. It just happens with a great deal of efficiency. Tim Pake. Pake is running up the ground. Goes to centre half forward. Sims is in there with Redden. Redden from the back. Graham off hands. Beautiful handball to Filkey. Filkey trying to get his arm free. Can't. Malloy. Filkey again forcing that miss kick. He tried to block it off Malloy's boot. Malloy just pulling it across his body and out of bounds between half forward and centre wing for Sturt.
Redden and Sims, 149 to 73. Redden the front spot. A really good throw in. It didn't get up very high. Heinrich weaved his way out of trouble. Gave it to Zubranic. Now he'll go to Davies. And the big fellow has taken the mark. Gee, Zubranic's a beautiful handball and kick.
Yes, he certainly is. Runs on the line, Bruce, once he gets his body on the straight. Very accurate. 15
marks to Davies today. It's about as many as he took last week, I suppose. I'm not sure how many he took last week. Wouldn't have been much more than this.
He's kicked 8 goals. He only needs 2 more for another 10.
We're just checking a moment his stats from last week, his kicks and marks. I don't think there'll be many more than he's had today. Now Davies with a high drop punt. Just missing, so he's kicked 8-6 today. We'll give you those stats on Davies last week. Now, last week he had 21 kicks and 14 marks, and today, Robert, he's had 18 kicks and 15 marks, so it's not much difference.
No, just value for kicks. John Riley receiving a very good kick out from John Brearley. Handballs the ball across to Campbell. Campbell down to centre position where Malcolm Ellis takes the mark. Ellis just backward of centre. Sanders running on. Michael Graham after him. Sanders has got too much space, kicking wide to the pocket. Bennett can't take it, just taps it out of bounds ahead of Russell Hutton. So North Adelaide zipped across the ground then in 2 plays from one forward pocket to the other. A couple of very good running kicks, but unfortunately again not accurate enough at the goal square to take full advantage.
Hay and Reid together, centre half forward and centre half back respectively for their sides. Hutton with a left footer. Philip Heinrich has 2 opponents against him. He got a high head tackle there from Stephen Riley. Kicked by Sanders to the open space. Matthew Campbell. High drop punt. Strong kick down Dietrich and Bennett. Reid forces it through and it's a rush behind. So North Adelaide 10-14, 21-24 Sturt. So the difference 11 goals 10.
Andrew Downs, Sturt kicking south. Whittlesey, when he goes for the ball overhead, he's done a couple today and he hasn't gone for it with the degree of confidence he has in the back pocket. That's a beautiful leg. We've seen him kick a couple of goals with that smooth action. Amazed me how this fellow can get out of evade tackles like he does, Phil. He does it so well. David, that's magnificent judgment. Unbelievable. Really couldn't believe it. No more could I. No more could many other people.
Robert, he had to jump early there, didn't he? Because he was behind. He jumped early and he hung.
He interfered with Brearley enough so that Brearley couldn't get his hand off the ground. But the amazing part was Brucey's ability to grab the ball reflexly as it just went past Brearley's outstretched hand. He kicked out a little bit more easily, but he's a little bit tired. Big fellow. Another behind to him. I've lost count of the behinds. Is that 2, 4, 6, 7? So he's kicked 8 goals, 7 this afternoon. So it's all in the kick. He's lost his rhythm today on his kick. And as a result, Sturt are only 21-25 instead of about 30 goals.
Brearley looks towards Redden. Sims will come from behind. Goes over the top of both players. John Riley. Filkey's played an excellent game. Riley's kicked to the half-forward flank. Jarman and Howard. Ellis coming through. Reid, gee, did that well because that ball was Hayes.
That's that short kick again, Bruce.
Gets them in trouble. Hutton. It's got better as the game's gone on to Reid. Gee, the Sturt defence is good, Robert. Reid to Sims. Sims, he hasn't had a kick for a while.
Good, he's kicked out a bit high too, Bruce.
Fry's got it.
He's got Zubranic out here. Phillips knows he's out here too. So Zubranic on the centre wing. Michael Graham just ahead of him. He bounces. He ran every 3 metres. He's bouncing the ball. Now he's playing piddle-paddle. Gives it to Michael Graham. Michael Graham will go for goal. I don't think there'll be any hesitation. Michael Graham kicks it, and he's kicked 6. 6 to Michael Graham. 22-25 to 10-14, and Sturt are really playing some smooth footy.
That is for sure. Eddie Fry taking that mark from Trevor Sims. As Robert said, he had Zubranic there. Phillips knew it. He tried to stop him from kicking it. It went to Zubranic. Zubs decided he wanted to bounce it a couple of times, and then he ran it along by tapping it in front of himself. Chipped it to Graham. Graham turned around and threw it wet.
And Trevor Sims running front on to Mick Redden on this occasion. Lays the ball forward towards Barbary. It was a very good knock, actually. Barbary kicks in the full forward. Davies from behind. He's got it again.
Play on.
Touch, play on, the umpire said. Took it off hands from Brearley. Must have touched Brearley's hands first. They would be paid 99 times out of 100, except if you're Rick Davis, you're expected to do it a bit better, because that's why you're a champion.
Davies taps it to Derrington. Derrington missed it. Malloy with a high one. That'll be out of bounds on the full. Wynn taking hold of that. Done that a couple of times today, North Adelaide. Craig Barbary coming off. John Painter, who had left the ground, comes back on. And Davies takes another one.
I see him just asking the umpire, you sure that was all right?
Umpire saying, yes, sir.
He got in front every time. The umpire said that I'd never have any hesitation.
So what, 8 goals, 7. It's going to be very interesting. I've got a funny feeling that he might be an addition to the squad tomorrow night. We'll know. But that's his 20th kick, this one.
Players running everywhere up here.
Obviously, they've lost faith in the big fellow kicking goals from this distance. Let's see what he can do.
He's going to kick it sideways.
Front spot Motley. Armfield at the back. Redden ran it out of bounds. Ball in.
Peter Motley, since the first quarter, the ball just has gone nowhere near centre half forward. He's just quietly gone along, but it's the smoothness that the ball's moved through centre half forward suggests that Motley's doing something right up there, Bruce. He's getting out of the road of the smooth movement. Filkey. Painter. Gayling. Roach. That was Armfield, I'm sorry. And then kicked forward by Riley from the back pocket. Phillip through his legs to Roach. Out of bounds.
Well, we're well into time on. 3 minutes of time on. So it'll be Sims and young Bennett. Ball pretty heavy. John Riley. Oh, Eddie Fry chapped it beautifully and then was leg.
He felt his head. He looked at the umpire with his hand on his head.
And the umpire said, no, Eddie, not your head, your leg.
Yes.
That's why you're getting it. It's usually a lovely kick. Oh, he timed that well. Davies. Oh, what a mark. Oh, he's exciting. Have a look at the grin on his face.
He hasn't got a gallop left in him. You know, you look at him, you were saying he's not kicking the ball too well, but if you'd worked as hard as he has up at full forward, fighting blokes, and if you've had a kick on a casual afternoon kick and you've stood there with two jumping against you all day, and you've been bashing them out of the road, and they've been bashing into you, and you've had something like about 20 kicks, I mean, that's not easy work. It's any wonder he's nearly falling over trying to kick the ball.
Let's see, Robert. He's kicked 8. He's kicked 9 now. Well, he's done enough work to have kicked about 15. But 9 goals to Davies, and that's it. The siren is gone. 23-25 Sturt. North Adelaide 10-14.